I guess, saw that I was on live stream with Jack Doherty. They took that opportunity to do some
openly about not having security, and then he's advertising that he's not home on this live.
See one more comment about someone talking about 6ix9ine, I'm gonna get mad.
You're mentioning, stop mentioning the comment section. Stop!
No. Okay, I'm moving for you.
Hey, for anyone that's saying that I had robbed somebody's house, 6ix9ine.
Yo, the Island Boys are in deep. Federal heat on their necks and the hip-hop world losing it. These Florida twins, famous for their wild viral flex, now caught up in a calculated hit at 69 Crib, snatching cash, jewelry, and even putting his 60-year-old mom on edge. Social media detectives been piecing every move, voice, chains, stance, while the feds watch close. Fame slipping, pockets dry, jealousy rising. This ain't just a robbery. It's straight-up chaos, desperation, and envy shaking the streets and the net. We breaking it all down, how it went down, step by step. Let's get into it.
The Island. Boys just got hit with a federal investigation that shook the whole hip-hop world. Their careers are hanging on by a thread, and behind all the viral antics and wild Florida energy, the feds are accusing them of lining up a full-blown home invasion setup. Agents pulled up with search warrants, flipped their whole spot upside down, and the streets haven't stopped talking since. And trust me, what really brought the feds to their doorstep is way darker than anybody expected. We're about to break everything down, exclusive footage, leaked audio, and all the insider whispers running through the streets like wildfire. The internet turned into detectives, overnight trying to piece this case together like it's a real-life crime series. This situation has more plot twists than a TV show. And every new detail hits harder than the last. Hip-hop been buzzing nonstop, and the arguments online just keep getting louder. But before we dive into the madness, let's get something straight. Social media have been throwing around wild theories about who broke into 69's Florida mansion, everybody acting like they got the inside scoop. But we're here to shut down the fake stories and lay out exactly how things went down in November 2025, the moment everything changed. For Kodiak Red and Fly Soldier, the Island Boys, these twins were doing everything they could to stretch that viral fame, trying to stay relevant in a culture that forgets you fast. But right when they thought they were floating, everything collapsed. It all exploded when 4 masked gunmen pulled up to 69's Palm Beach mansion, ran inside, and held his 60-year-old mother at gunpoint. They tore the house apart, cash, jewelry, anything they could flip quick. The place looked like a tornado hit it, but this wasn't some random hit. The timing was too perfect. The move was too clean. And when online detectives started connecting dots, they got loud enough that the feds jumped in. And here's where it gets messy. Because this case ain't just about a robbery. It's about pressure, jealousy, and what people do when the spotlight starts fading. Everything happened while 69 was live streaming with Jack Doherty, flexing about having no security like he's untouchable. He was literally showing his mansion on camera, revealing he wasn't home, and basically broadcasting an open invitation to anyone watching. And that's when the whole situation flipped.
Security, and then he's advertising that he's not home on this live stream.
Yeah, listen, I mean, it's silly. I don't know why he's out there bragging about not having security, because he definitely needs security, and this is not going to go away for multiple reasons. He's an easy target. You know, when you walk around with, $250,000 in jewelry on you, if you insist on walking around with that type of money, then you need professional help. And your friends hanging out with you obviously are insufficient.
Meanwhile, back at the house, those 4 masked dudes were locked in on that live stream like it was a mission briefing. Every move was timed perfect, like they'd been watching this man's habits for weeks. The precision had everybody asking the same thing. Who knew what? And how deep did this setup really go? In the streets, timing is everything. One wrong second can flip a whole plan, but this situation hit different, because these weren't some random stick-up boys chasing fast cash. According to the leaked footage breakdowns, these were people already known online people who should have been stacking legit paper instead of risking Fed time over a couple chains. Then TMZ dropped the clip that blew the internet to pieces. In the audio, you can hear one of the masked men slip up and call another dude by a name that lines up with one of the Island Boys' own nicknames. That one mistake had the entire internet frozen. It didn't sound like coincidence. It sounded personal. Right after that, the social media detectives clocked in like they were on payroll. They were zooming in, slowing frames, comparing audio like they had a whole crime lab in the bedroom. But the crazy part? It didn't stop there. People started doing full CSI breakdowns, walking patterns, body language, how they shifted their weight, how their arms swung, the posture, the swagger. Fans were putting footage side by side with the Island Boys' music videos, TikTok's IG Live studying every tiny detail. How they move when they're nervous, how their shoulders tilt when they talk, how their hands fly around when they get hyped. It turned into a digital manhunt in real time. But the moment that really shook the room? The jewelry. Viewers spotted a chain on one of the robbers almost identical to a custom piece. Kodiak Red had been flashing on Instagram. Not a basic Cuban. A custom piece with unique engravings that nobody could fake without paying real money. Once that detail surfaced, the whole conversation flipped. Everybody online started asking the same question. How does a masked robber end up wearing a chain that looks exactly like Kodiak Reds? The theories started flying non-stop. The pressure on the Island Boys' names got louder by the hour. That chain was peeking out just enough for people to catch the design, and the match was dead on to the photos posted weeks before everything went down. That's the kind of detail that makes federal agents lean in and start paying real attention. Now here's where the motive comes into play. The Island Boys went from viral stars getting big appearance checks and promo bags to barely getting mentioned anymore. Fame dipped, money dipped, lifestyle dipped. Meanwhile, 69 is still online flexing millions, riding in foreigns, flashing crazy stacks like he's untouchable. Imagine watching someone from your world ball out harder than ever while your own spotlight fades. That's the kind of pressure that makes people do wild things. That kind of contrast hits different and gets under folks' skin fast. Now here's the part everybody been whispering about. The moment the internet got loud and the online, detectives started piecing clues together like they was seasoned pros. One of the Island Boys finally cracked, and when he spoke, man, the whole internet raised an eyebrow. He wasn't just sounding defensive. He sounded like somebody who felt the walls tightening around him. Dude popped out with alibis instantly, talking about how he was in Vegas the night of the robbery, naming spots, times, events, like he was reading a script somebody slid to him. But here's the crazy part. Nobody even pressed him for that info yet.
Saying that I had robbed somebody's house, 6'9". Red is in the west coast of Florida, and I was in Vegas. I just got to Florida, just now. I'm writing a tax. I just got to Florida. What you saying? Tripping. I ain't robbed nothing.
That move alone had people saying he revealed more than he intended, making the situation look even stranger. Viewers kept replaying his statements, pointing out the nervous tone, the rushed delivery, and the way he kept over-explaining things no one brought up. He went into unnecessary detail about taking taxis, being on the west coast of Florida, and dropping timestamps and locations like he was building a legal defense before anyone even questioned him. That type of energy made people suspicious because it sounded rehearsed. It was obvious defensive behavior and everyone noticed it. Why break down your movements so intensely if you truly have nothing to hide? The audience was watching closely, and the tension was obvious. Then he got even more agitated, telling people to stop talking about the 69 situation altogether. He became irritated and snapped at anyone who mentioned the robbery or tried connecting him to the situation.
Videos, stop. Or whatever videos you're mentioning, stop mentioning in the comment section. Stop! Stop! More comment about someone talking about 6'9", I'm gonna get mad. Stop talking about it. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear a theory about it. I don't want to hear none of that. Oh, it was this. Oh, yo, Red. Yo, Red! Listen, boy, listen. Stop that, okay? You guys are causing me a lot of trouble, okay? Detectives came to me already, okay? Like, it's getting ridiculous. They're going to my mom. Like, this is a big problem. If you guys keep going with this Island Boy stuff,
But here's the real twist. He admitted detectives had already pulled up to question him, and they were even contacting his family members. Detectives showing up like that means law. Enforcement was paying close attention to what the internet was uncovering, and they weren't treating any of it like a joke. Once investigators start knocking on doors over online theories, you know things are getting messy, and the spotlight is hitting harder than anyone expected. The fact that they questioned his mother too showed how deep the investigation was reaching. That kind of pressure hits anyone differently, and it showed. You could hear the stress in his voice and see it in how he talked. This wasn't someone casually brushing off rumors. This was someone feeling the weight of the situation, knowing one wrong move could make everything worse. The way he kept telling people to stop bringing it up, saying it was causing problems, trying to shut the conversation down. Those are the actions of someone who feels the walls closing in. His tone, his reactions, his pacing, everything showed he was dealing with real fear. But here's the wild part. While the internet was building a detailed case against the Island Boys, something even heavier was happening behind the scenes, and nobody was ready for the chaos that came next. While one of the Island Boys was cracking under pressure from federal investigators, 69 came out with a completely different story that flipped the narrative. His version didn't just shift things it clashed with everything internet detectives had spent days piecing together. When Aiden Ross asked him directly about the Island Boys rumors on livestream, 69 shut it down immediately. No hesitation, no stuttering. He said he didn't think they were involved at all. He claimed he saw something entirely different during the break-in and insisted the internet was twisting things for attention. He didn't stop there. 69 got specific. He pointed out his neighborhood has hundreds of homes and suggested the break-in looked more like something done by local kids, not anyone famous. He said the robbers didn't have visible tattoos, and their faces were only partially covered, which didn't match the Island Boys' look at all.
No, I don't even think Island Boys.
No, that's what I saw. I swear. That's what. No.
There were kids in this neighborhood.
What
so
the
let
fuck?
me leave that real clear. There's 230 homes in my neighborhood. What it's pointing out to be, yeah, he didn't do that then. But what was pointed out to be that it was kids in the neighborhood because there was no car that came in, no car that left. So it was white kids at that.
No way.
Oh, yeah. Hell no.
There was no tattoos. So
are you gonna be
this myth that it was those two brothers, and there's
It's
no tattoos. Their face was able to see there was no tat, so that's just a myth. They're just Instagram conspiracy, whatever fuck. But anyway, long story short, I'm glad that my mom's okay. I'm glad that my dog's okay. I'm glad that my family's okay.
Amazing.
And yeah, these people took opportunity when I
Describe the physical details like he was giving an official statement. Now here's where the contradiction shows up. On one side, online detectives were matching voices, comparing jewelry, studying walking patterns, and pulling up old clips as if they were running a real investigation. Federal agents even showed up to question the Island Boys and their family, which means law enforcement took those online clues seriously. But then 69 stepped in with a calm, confident denial that sounded nothing like what people online believed. He said the suspects were just local kids with no tattoos and no features, matching the Island Boys at all. That's a major shift. Something doesn't line up. Either the internet detectives were wrong, or 69 is protecting someone, or there's another layer nobody has uncovered yet. When two stories clash this hard, it usually means someone isn't telling the full truth. So why would 69 shut down all that supposed evidence? Maybe he didn't want the situation to escalate. Maybe he knows something the public doesn't. Or maybe he didn't want his name tied to the island. Boys drama, because it would create problems for him. In the streets, people keep certain details quiet to avoid new complications, and sometimes silence protects more than it exposes. But everything shifted once federal investigators got involved. At that point, this wasn't a simple local case anymore. When the feds step into a home invasion case, it usually means there's something much deeper behind it. Interstate moves, possible ties to bigger crews, and whispers about federal heat. Feds don't pop out for some petty break-in. They show up when it smells like organized play, deeper connections, or major investigations. And honestly, the Island Boys had a money problem staring them dead in the face. These dudes went from cashing out heavy, big appearance bags, promo checks, living like overnight superstars, to barely pulling club money. At their peak, they were getting tens of thousands just to show up, flexing like fame would last forever. But once the internet switched lanes, their bags dried up quick. Meanwhile, 69 was out here gifting his mom luxury whips, dropping million-dollar surprises, flashing stacks, and rocking jewelry like part of his morning routine. Big mansion, big lifestyle. While the Island Boys were fighting to stay relevant. Watching someone shine that bright while your own glow fades, that hits the ego hard. That kind of drop, from viral kings to scraping by, can twist your mindset fast. When fame dips and bills climb, jealousy doesn't whisper, it screams. Desperation makes people move in ways they never would have when money was flowing. Respect, status, pride, those don't disappear just because the bag does. That pressure can turn anyone reckless. Then things got even weirder. Both Island Boys suddenly ghosted their socials right when the robbery went down. These are dudes who post non-stop, flexes, clips, everyday moves. But at the exact moment everything happened, total silence. Last posts were from Miami, barely an hour from 69's Palm Beach mansion. People online started connecting dots like they were working a task force. Fans even went full CSI, running voice comparisons, matching accents, tones, speech patterns, even feeding audio into recognition software. Some breakdowns showed crazy similarities between one island, Boy's voice, and the robber. Screenshots of high% matches had social media on fire. But this whole thing wasn't just about a break-in. It exposed the ugly side of internet fame. The Island Boys had clout, but no long-term money. 69 had both, but he made himself an easy target by flexing non-stop. That mix made the perfect recipe for chaos. This story ain't just about guilt or innocence. It's about how the internet now acts, like a second police force, running investigations, building theories, and influencing the real world in ways nobody saw coming. Online detectives be piecing together audio, visuals, timestamps, and social media moves so tight, even federal agents gotta take notice.
For real, I think you guys take all of your jewelry assets and invest it in something, so you guys will never ever be broke again.
Hold on, hold on.
Podcast.
No,
Here, I'm moving for you.
We in a new era now, folks behind screens piecing together digital evidence so solid even the cops can't brush it off. But in all that online noise, everybody almost forgot the real one who caught the pain. 69, 60-year-old moms. Shorty was held at gunpoint in her own crib, shook to her core, all because her son been flexing heavy and painting a target on his back. Island Boys, kids from the block, or somebody else, whoever it was, she, the one who paid the price that night. And that part hit the streets harder than anything. An older woman who barely speaks English, goes to church every week, mine didn't. Her own quiet life forced to stare down real fear because her son stayed living loud. That alone shook the whole neighborhood, and folks ain't stopped talking about how foul the whole situation feels.
All right, guys, that's it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching all the way through. I really appreciate the support. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. I'm out.